morning. I want to welcome Anna Leah Mintz to Healers Enlightened Network. Anna Leah is the producer and the host of Healthy Heaven show in San Diego. Anna is a consultant, nutritionist, and detox specialist. She's also an emotion code practitioner. Today, she is here to offer us tips and tools on the importance of detoxing our body and the natural ways to go about it. Good morning and welcome, Anna. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you. You guys are my tribe because you understand this great value of health and detoxifying. So I'm here hopefully to offer you some tips and tools. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Paula. It's a pleasure to be here. And India, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. So detoxification is a lifestyle that needs to be ongoing. Just the same way we continue to eat, we continue to breathe, we continue to live life, okay? It's crucial that we be aware that our body needs an ongoing cleanse. So toxicity is basically more than just one package. It's a lot of things that require how to detox the body. And toxicity can be emotional, such as many of you know that are practitioners in the emotion code and the body code. There's a lot of negative stored emotions in the subconscious, as we know, that affect our healthy cells. And it can go back from childhood, traumas, PTSD, negative past lives. So we want to remove those because it's 85%, most of the health conditions that we have are 85% emotionally related. But then we also get into the environmental aspect of it. And chemtrails, you know how sometimes you sit outside and you see all these cool little jets driving around in the air and you're thinking, oh, look, they put up these little signs and they're driving around. Well, before you know it, they are dripping down what's called silver nitrate, which we end up breathing and it goes into our lungs. We need to be really careful with that. A lot of people think it's asthma and a lot of people think, oh, why am I coughing so much more? Some seasons are higher than others, especially if you live near the military and the Air Forces and all that. So I know in my backyard, I had a friend that was sitting here and she literally saw them dripping stuff. And I don't know how she was able to see it, but she started coughing and in my house she went. So I know that they could be lingering literally in my backyard. So then there's that. There's also, of course, pollution. Anytime a car goes by, of course, now we've got the Teslas and all that that don't have as much pollution, but you know, still there's cars that are there. If you live near factories, synthetic drugs like antibiotics. There's so many elderly people that I know personally that every time they have a UTI, a urinary tract infection, off they go, antibiotic. There's like 1 week, 2 weeks worth, you know, and little by little, they are scraping the lining on their stomach and the good gut flora is going out as well. So it's very harmful. Eventually, that's how we get autoimmune disorders because we don't have the good bacteria in there anymore. So, and leaky gut, we want to avoid all that. Next thing I want to touch upon is EMS. I'm huge on this. As a matter of fact, I produced, as Paula mentioned, a live health talk show here in San Diego. And the first thing I did on the show, I picked two topics. And one was the emotion code and body code. And the other was the importance of EMS. And I had Corey Hillis, the president of EMS Solutions. You can go look up bioinitiative.org, and you could see the science behind what I'm briefly going to tell you about. The harm, we called that show the silent killer, because as we're sitting in front of our computers right now, or as you hold a cell phone to your ear, and now I'm on Clubhouse, so I'm on 24/7 sometimes. I am so addicted to Clubhouse, and I speak a lot. I was a moderator in a room for 7 hours. Thank God that I had my chip behind my phone. My kids too. I don't care how cheesy it looks, they say, Mom. I don't care. You want a phone, you put the chip on there. And we tape it on because my kids seem to like to switch phone cases and phones. So it's fine. If you tape it on, you could tape it off and put it on another phone. It lasts forever anyway. It's all earth material. So that will remediate your phone. Okay. So what's happening is as the phone has its frequencies that come out, the negative ones, it kind of converts it to being able for us to be able to look, us humans are not made to be able to handle these high frequencies. And now with 5G, they're even harder on our body. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, they've got brain fog, sleep issues, digestive issues, their immune system's going down. And we have to be even more careful than ever with the virus going around. It's diminishing, it's depleting us with all the things we need. So EMFs are huge. If you want to just see it, I'm not a big seller on this stuff, I just have it myself. But if you want to know what's available, you could go on my website, buy it from Amazon, I don't care, but I'm just telling you, the company I have, I've tested other people that brought me things from Amazon. They're like 50% effective, some were 80. I actually found one that was the highest as 80, had a little chip on there. I have never found 100 yet till I found EMF Solutions. That's 100. They stand behind their products so well. So you can go check out some of the things. I want to just mention two of them that I really love. One of them, yeah, the first one I want to mention is the room harmonizer. So I went to a hotel and we walk in the room and my son's ears started buzzing. I ended up with a headache right away. That's how sensitive I am to frequencies. And I opened the curtains and lo and behold, there was a cell tower there. Cell tower. I thought, oh my God. Okay, so I run to the desk downstairs. I said, we're near a cell tower. She said, oh, I know, that's the only room left. I said, well, I don't think we can handle that. And she said, I'm really sorry. You can either go to another hotel or whatever. Thank God I was prepared, and I always am, even when I go on planes. I had a room harmonizer. It's a little round cylinder, stuck it in the outlet, left for 4 hours, came back, and the whole room was remediated, completely relaxed, like we were able to sleep, no problem. So that's the room harmonizers. The other one that I love is when you go in a car. If a lot of you drive for long distances, you can actually take it and plug it in. The cars really deplete our energy. If you're driving for a long periods of time and you're in a car, all the stuff that comes out of the engine, and I mean, it's got a battery there, you're picking it all up. So there's something you could put in the cigarette lighter and it will literally, oh yeah, you can even use that to charge your phones too. So it does more than one thing. It'll remediate your car and you can use it as a charger. So that's another thing. And then I literally, like, I have a patch, I'm going to show it to you. It's an EMF patch. You can put these in your pocket. I put it in my shirt. I always like to have it. They have 5G bands now for kids and for adults. I mean, the list is endless. If you have a house up to about 3,000 square feet, you could take a harmonizer and put it outside and remediate your whole home. Your home is toxic from EMF. There's no doubt about it. If you have Wi-Fi, you are sitting in a room ready to just like silent killer, okay? You don't feel it now, but you will. Okay, so I'm trying to prevent that. We'll move on now to physical toxicity. So some of us, I don't know what's in your mouth. I'm not a dentist. You know what's in your mouth. If you have fillings, time to get them out. It's just time to get them out. My husband had some, he got them all pulled out, and you need to go to a very, very special dentist to do it, because while they're drilling, if they're not specialized, every time they drill, you're going to be breathing all that mercury. It's going to just float in your mouth. You're going to be swallowing. You're going to be more sick than having it in your mouth. But I could tell you something else. For pregnant women, if they have them, every time they swallow, their baby is picking it up in the placenta and in the bloodstream. Then, of course, that poor baby comes out, and now they want to give it vaccines. Okay, so now it's got the vaccines in addition to what it picked up from the mother every single time the mother swallowed. So that's another reason to get them out. So just something to be aware of. Food toxicity. We definitely want to avoid oils, certain oils, okay, like the canola, the vegetable, the palm, the sunflower, all GMO. So I know a good restaurant. I went just last week. We went to Camino Capistrano. It was a beautiful, beautiful place. And I was hopping around to different restaurants. The only way I know a restaurant is not how I see a dish sitting in front of somebody when I walk by and go, ooh, that looks good. It's the oils. I will go to the chef and I'll say, what oils do you use? And if they say canola, I know exactly that it's cheap quality restaurant. If they say olive oil, find me a seat. There I am. Okay. So that's something you want to look for. I would like to speak about the importance of water, because our body is so made of water. A lot of us are drinking water. Question mark, is it quality? Is it quality? My only type of water that I would want to drink is anything that's alkaline. That's going to alkaline my body. Cancer lives where there's poor oxygen and poor alkaline. It's acidic. They strive off of sugar and acidity. So boost it up. I'm lucky to live in San Diego. It's the 5th largest, best water in the world we have right near Palomar over there. But I bet people can go to Costco near you or whatever and get alkaline water. Okay, we have them as well, so you can always get that. And also, I travel with a water filter too. You never know. Like you could be out there and you don't know where you're going to be. You could be at a restaurant. They don't have bottled water. Maybe bottled waters in some places are so expensive because they know the tourists want it. Well, travel with a filter that converts it. I went on a cruise and I took one. And it's so easy. It's just a little jug. Pour it in, comes out alkaline, you know. And it's funny because everyone in my cruise table at the dinner table all wanted to share it. They didn't know who we were, but they're like, can you pass that around? And when the waiter came with water, and I tested the water to see what kind of water I would have been drinking if I drank what he was ready to offer, I would have had parasites in my stomach, no doubt about it. Now I know where people get parasites. I tested it. It didn't even make the chart of okay colors. Like it was so bad. And then he saw us not wanting his water anymore, and he goes, is it not good water? I said, not for my body. Anyway, not for humans. And I said, I didn't mean to insult him, but he laughed. And you know what he said to me? He said, oh, now I know why they give the waiters bottled water. They're getting the bottled waters. We're getting the tap. Okay, we're getting the tap. So thank God I was aware of that. And every time I go, I pass it around. So just beware, especially when you're traveling. I also travel with something called Metaclay. It's bentonite clay, and it's in a capsule. And again, I'm going to share with you where I get all my good stuff. There's one company that I value more than anything. It's Premier Research Lab, if you've ever heard of them. But they have Metaclay. So when you travel and you're not sure what was in your food, even when you're not traveling, even if you're just going to a restaurant and you don't know if they cooked your food well, or if it's old food, or if it's got mold in it, and it's not organic enough, I don't know. But to not take a chance, I open my Metaclay, I put it in water, mix it, and drink it. And it will suck out every bit of toxicity in my body, whatever it picked it up. I don't ever have to worry about getting salmonella poisoning or anything like that. Of course, you want to stay away from farm-raised fish. I know many times I go into Costco and they look beautiful. Then I read farm-raised and I test it because I test everything energetically with my pendant, everything. And I could see that there is 100% a difference between the farm-raised and the one that's not. Okay, the wild, you want wild. Same thing with grass-fed. You could see the difference. You could really, at least I could, because I could test it, so I can vouch that it's true. Some of you may be vegan. I respect that, but I just want to bring you aware of something. If you are vegan, you're able to take something like spinach and convert it to the iron that you need. Okay, you're able to do that. The ones that are blood type O cannot. They cannot do that as well. They are still going to lack iron. And so test yourself. If you're blood type O, you need to eat some meat. And I'm saying good meat, okay, grass-fed. My favorite, if you're asking me what two meats would you like, I would say buffalo and lamb. Those are probably my best two types of meat. But if there's something in meat that's heme, called heme, your body needs that to make iron, okay? And in someone that's vegan, be careful, because if, like I said, if you're vegan and you're not blood type O, you're going to need to consider that. I want to discuss, and the other thing with supplements. Okay, so to me, supplements are good. They're needed for certain reasons, but they're supplements, meaning your body is missing something and you need to supplement it with something. I now found a way, and I put this on my Facebook with the emotion code, and people love to hear what I do with this, but I test 3 different categories. I test, does your body need it? Does it want it? And does it benefit from it? Okay, you do not want to be in the need category. If you're in the need category, it means that your body is really chronic in some way or another. Something's really off for you to need it, okay? But it's okay. Take what you need for now and know that keep testing yourself. And we're all energy healers, I would think, at some degree. We can test. So see how long what percentage are you at with the need? And then start to wean off. Now you're gonna get into the want, okay? Your body wants it. And then eventually the ideal way is to get into benefiting. You want to benefit. You want to just take it because your body can take it or leave it. You'll survive if it doesn't take it. It's just a good thing to have, okay? So I always test in those categories. So that's one thing you definitely, and also with supplements, please make sure that you don't have magnesium stearate in it. Many of the supplements have magnesium stearate. And I'll tell you, I'll be very honest with you. There was a company, and there's many companies that approach me because they know that I have a website and if I really like them, I'll put them on my website under products. Well, I did it for somebody. I actually did it for a company, that I ended up taking off. And I'll tell you what happened. My daughter, well, someone in my family had 7 cavities, okay? And they had a supplement that literally was called Centramin. It reversed the cavities. It was one of the things that built her tooth enamel. That supplement did not have magnesium stearate. I was okay with it. We took it. Then I went to the company and I said, what else do you have? And they found me something else. It was like immuno, this and that. And I liked it and I thought, So I started taking it, but then I realized the potency over time started to get weaker. As I tested it, it started to get weaker. And as I tested it, it wasn't even effective for my body anymore. And I looked, and that was the one that had the magnesium stearate. So I started to add one and one together, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick to my beliefs with Premier Research Lab that kept saying, stay away from magnesium stearate. And now I see why. As much as that was good in one way, over time, the life potency of it just wasn't that great. So anyway, I had to pull them off my website. I only put the very best now. Like anything on my products now, I am convinced are energetically tested and over time. All right. So that's why I value what I put up there, and I only offer the best now. So, and also you want to make sure that they're not in tablet form. Tablets do not break down very well. How do I know? I'll tell you, because there was a little workshop that I went in a health food store, and there was a practitioner / doctor, holistic doctor. She was going around, she was advertising her little tablet. And I was the only one that took it but didn't swallow it. And she kept looking at me back and forth. At the end, she asked me, she says, I see that you are thinking something. Can you share with me what it is that's bothering you? And I said, well, it's not that it's really bothering me. I just personally wouldn't swallow it because look, and I showed her that I put it in water and it didn't break down. And she said, what does that tell you? And I said, well, it tells me that if it was in my body, it would probably struggle to break down there too. And she said, interesting. And she had really no comment other than to just soak in what I'm saying. But again, if we go back to Premier Research Lab, they know this already. It's old news. They only have things in capsules. They only have things in liquid that go straight into the bloodstream, easy to absorb, straight to the cells. They're all about cellular residence. They know that things have to work quick. So those people out there that are taking the B12 shots, oh my God, synthetic. You get B's from Premier Research Lab. It comes either in capsule or liquid form, straight into the bloodstream. You'll see energy like this, okay? That's how fast these things work. Now, again, I'm not advertising just Premier Research Lab. I want you guys to be aware of what to look for in general. There are lots of other good companies out there, and sometimes right in front of you, like in a good nutrition store, but know what to look for, okay? Capsules, liquid, powder, no magnesium stearate, no fillers, no dyes. Don't get fooled by natural flavors ever. It's nothing more than a fancy way of saying MSG, okay? So we touched upon that. And of course, with oral health, I want to emphasize a little more on cavities. Don't rush to get fillings, please. Try this first. I don't believe even if some dentist told you, oh, it's the worst cavity ever. It's about to, you're about to get into the root canal stage. Calm down and say, you know what? Can I have a week or two to work with this? As practitioners, remove the emotions related to the teeth. We all know that comes first. Teeth and emotions go hand in hand. Remove that. Get that out of the way. Then do what's called coconut pulling. If you haven't heard of coconut pulling, take a little bit of coconut, melt it in warm water and swoosh it in your mouth for about a minute. Spit it out in the toilet, not in the sink. It will clog up your pipes, okay? So spit it out in the toilet. And then get that out of your mouth, like get some kind of fluoride, or not fluoride, sorry, mouthwash, a good one. Colloidal silver is a great mouthwash as well. Anything that doesn't have fluoride in it, swoosh it out. And then if you need to, test yourselves. I love that we're all practitioners and know how to test these things. Test, do I need another round? Okay, if not, then wait, ask another few days. But keep doing that till that cavity. And what you want to ask in a cavity is how much bacteria percentage is there? That's what you want to know. I always work on percentages. What's your percentage? And watch it go down, 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 down. It should be at 0. I also use the laser on her teeth. So we use the laser, the mud packing. We did the dental water pick. I got a water pick. And with the water pick, we put colloidal silver in it. Okay, it's very exclusive colloidal silver. Even when she dental flossed, we took the dental floss and we dipped it in. And then we did it. There's now charcoal dental flosses as well. Very good stuff. So you could make sure you get in between every possible tooth and really get all the stuff out. So we did that, and we took the Centramin for her tooth to build the enamel as well. There's also something from Premier Research Lab for maintenance also. It's called Dentavin, and it will always put in good bacteria. It's a gel. You bite into it, and you just don't eat anything for a while, and for a few minutes or whatever, and then it will also help with the bacteria in there and help build your gums and your teeth all together with the Dentavin. So I love that stuff as well. Definitely, you want to stay away from chemical-free everything. So that would be makeup. Be very careful with the makeup. Shampoos on your hair. Mine are so natural. Everything I buy, and Brommer's soap is also really, really good. If you see that, it's got the tea tree and all that other stuff. So I'm a fan of all that. Perfumes I'd stay a mile away from. All synthetic. They can make you dizzy just breathing it. So in replacement of perfumes, I love essential oils. So I'm part of Young Living. I love, there's other ones too. I just happen to be with Young Living. I'm with Jack Canfield's team. I love that team. And so big fan of that. I mean, there's frankincense, lavender, things that calm the brain, stuff called joy and transformations. Hair dyes, be very careful. If you're someone like me, black hair, if you use the hair dyes, make sure they're like plants and they don't have chemicals in it. Now, I do a treatment called Yuko because I love to get my hair straight. And there's also another one called Brazilian Blowout. I almost did that one, but I tested the chemicals. I would have been at an early grave if I would have did that. It got so much chemicals, literally, like when you breathe it in. Like I went in the salon with a lady having it done, I got dizzy. And I wasn't even having it done on me. But when you breathe it, oh my God. And the lady admitted, she said, oh yeah, if you really want your hair pin straight, Brazilian blowout is the way to go, but it will definitely damage your liver. They admit it. So it's not like they're not telling me something or hiding it. But I already knew that. I do the Yuko. The Yuko is completely natural, and I love it. I also want to touch upon nails. For those women like me who like to have gel nails, or even if let's just say you get them polished, but mine are ongoing. I get it off, I put another one on. I never, ever let my nails be free of anything. And I'll tell you why. Personally, I like the look of the gel. It looks very clean, and I do a lot of work on people with my pendants, so I like to have a nice, clean, professional look. But on the second hand, I have to be careful because my nails are never breathing. So here's what I do. When this gel nail gets pulled off, they could do it with acetone. So they put acetone and then they put this tinfoil there, and you sit there with tinfoil and acetone. What do you think this acetone is? Nothing more than chemicals, right? It's going in the cuticles, it's going in your bloodstream, it's going in your skin. So now I told them, no, not for me. For me, you're going to drill it off. She said, drill it off. I said, yeah, same way you drill it off at the very end after. Start now, and I'll take a little bit longer to do it. I'll give them a big tip. I don't care, but drill it off. So they drill it off. Then here's the cool part. I don't just let another application go on. Now I bring a little container with water, and I put my mud pack from Premier Research Lab. It's called mud bath or something. You can soak it in it. Actually, you can soak your whole body in it, but I soak my nails in it. So she knows while I'm soaking this hand, she's drilling that one, and then we switch, okay? And my nails got a nice, cool cleanse, a really good detox, okay? And then now they go ahead and, here's the other thing. If you put it in the light, you know how they got that ultraviolet light? You got to stick your hand in there. Well, that's radiation, guys. Get your lotion. Make sure your lotion is on there. And so when your hands are in there, you're prepared. Then they want to massage your hand, right? Well, guess what? I tested their stuff. It's all fragrance. It's the cheapest of lotions you can ever get. I bring my own. Mine's got one called Detox, one called Lavender with all kinds of lemongrass and really good stuff in it. That's what goes on my skin, you know. But it's a matter of knowledge is power. Be aware. What can we do to avoid? And I know it's just a little of this and a little of that. But over time, I mean, I've got the rest of my life to go get my nails and my hair done, and my skin. I'm always with makeup and moisturizers. If it's not the quality, good kind, your body will suffer at the end. It's just as simple as that. It all adds up. And then that's how you get, unfortunately, autoimmune disorders and all kinds of skin conditions. So, and that goes too with household products. Please beware of, the stuff that they spray on the couches because it smells nice. There's a lot of stuff that smells nice. Young Living has tons of stuff that they put on the couch and cleanses in the air. I got something called Thieves now. Oh, I love it. I just ordered. It's the first time I ever tried that. But all handles, all of my doorknobs, everything. Thieves everywhere. It smells beautiful, totally natural, and a real true disinfectant as well. So I just wanted to mention that. We talked about the EMF. That's good. I also believe very strongly in detoxing the skin. It is your biggest organ. And I go in an infrared sauna. I'm very fortunate. I have one in my house, infrared, and I also have a pool. So when you have a pool, you know that chlorine is there. We eventually would like to get the chlorine out and put salt in there. We're talking about that. But they told me even with the salt, you're still going to get some chlorine. So I thought, okay, look, you can't avoid everything, okay? Sometimes you're going to go into a nice spa in a public place and you're going to want to take a dip in the chlorine. It's fine. It's what happens when you come out. So I go in my infrared sauna. If I can't get to an infrared sauna because I'm somewhere in a hotel, then I'll take black mud, and there's black mud soaps. There's some that are from the African black mud soaps. There's all kinds. But I love anything that's black and charcoal. It's just really good. In fact, I was going to add, there's something that you can actually put on your feet when you go to bed, and they're patches. And I found them, believe it or not, at TJ Maxx. Okay, I don't know if you have a TJ Maxx near you, but go shop around. Sometimes when you go in these little health stores, like, or health sections in a store like Ross or something, they have, they're the best things. And mine has bamboo in it. So there's something about the bamboo and the chamomile that's mixed. And I put them on the bottom, the sole of my feet. I sleep with them. In the morning, I peel it off, and it just gave my body a detox right there. Because you can exit a lot of stuff through the sole of your feet. So I want to just offer that and just let you know to keep an eye on those things. They are out there. And for those of you that can energetically test them, because not all of them were a high percentage. I tested like 5 of them before I found the one that I liked. And the one that I did end up liking was the one with the bamboo. There's something about that was just darker, more charcoal in it. There's many different kinds of cleanses you can do. So the skin is one. We talked about the infrared sauna. I am a strong fan of colonics and liver cleanses. And I can't begin to tell you, as much as you think that your liver or your colon is clean and, oh, I go regularly or whatever, you can't go regularly enough. Your intestines go all the way up, almost up to your chest. I'm not kidding. There's so much in there. And there's like long, like if you look at a map or you know what your body looks like with the intestines, it's literally like this. So keep an eye on that. Test again energetically if you can your colon. How clean is it? Do you need a colon cleanse? I would say the average person should do one at least every 2 months on average. Okay. And then the liver cannot be cleaned or you cannot do a coffee enema successfully and clean your liver if your colon's clogged up. It's a fact. You need to get the colon fully cleaned for you to be able to hold in a coffee enema longer. And if you can't, then take stuff like magnesium. Like magnesium powder is really, really good. There's so many women in general that are low on magnesium. Every time I test them, they're just really low. It's one of the ones that I find are very key in women. So always check your magnesium level. Again, I would do magnesium powder, 2 teaspoons in the morning, 2 at night. Warm water melts it. But it will help the colon get cleaner faster, and then you can be successful in the liver coffee enema that you do. If you do not like coffee enemas, I don't blame you. They're not the greatest thing to do. I do know if you were to go to a place like Hippocrates in Florida, where you got cancer patients there, they do 4 or 5 a week, and they don't care if you're a kid. They will do that. But if you don't, that's okay. There's something called glutathione capsules, okay? There's also something called Liver MD, again, from Premier Research Lab. If you don't want to clean your gallbladder and do a full gallbladder flush, and there's quite a way to do it. I mean, it's not the funnest thing to do in your home, to do a gallbladder flush, but if you have kidney stones, you might want to consider it. But there is stuff that you can take. Again, Premier Research Lab is the only one that I know personally that I value in this way, but they have a liquid you could drink that says gallbladder ND, liver ND, okay? They even have something called cardio ND if you've got heart conditions, okay? And if you don't want the liquid, they've got it in capsules too. So it's just good to know that there is something out there. I also love ozone therapy. I just started it. The reason I personally did it, I'm very, very healthy. Like there's nothing I personally need to worry about or think about that has a big chronic issue that I have to be concerned about. But I did have a surgery on my abdominal wall over 10 years ago. And I'm still wanting to get rid of any lingering scar tissue. I still want to work on that wall. It's still kind of weak. And I heard about ozone therapy and I thought maybe I'll try that as well. And honestly, I saw a difference. What's really fun, and so here's how it works. They just literally poke, like you were to take blood work and draw some blood, and then they put it in this machine, and it puts oxygen in it, and then shoots it back into your body again. So they just oxygenate the blood and put it back, because we think we have enough oxygen, but honestly, again, check your percentages, see for yourself. And sometimes when you do have a surgery or something, you don't have as much oxygen in your body. There's still the cells that are kind of lingering and need help. And why not? If you can help them and do something as easy as ozone therapy, it's a 45-minute session. I'm in and out once every 2 months. I do it now and love it. But what's funny is I came in one time and I took a chlorella, you know, the chlorella capsules that are like filled with spirulina and chlorella. And I took it and my blood was so red, so red. She couldn't believe how healthy it was. She goes, I've never seen such red blood. And I said, you know, it's funny, I never did this before, but because I came before and it wasn't that red. It was average blood color, but it was like pure red. So I know, again, FEMA Research Lab gave me a chlorella. I decided to take one before I went in, but it works really well. So anyway, that's it. And again, that's just another way you can cleanse your blood if you don't want to do ozone therapy. That's just another good thing to do. And blue-green algae is also really good too. You know, there's lots of good things you can take for cleansing your blood. Quality sleep is so huge right now. Your body repairs and rejuvenates as you sleep, if and only if you're having quality sleep. If you find that you're getting up groggy and you're tired and you have brain fog and you're lethargic during the day, there's your signal. You did not get good quality sleep that day, clearly. So what do you do about it? The first thing is to follow your circadian rhythm. Okay, it's your biological clock. It tells you when you're tired. And how many of you, me included, push yourselves and go, oh, I'm going to stay on Clubhouse for 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. Before you know it, it's past midnight and I'm still on Clubhouse. Can't seem to get out. And you know what the thing is, when you're on Clubhouse, they're from all over the world, so they have no sense of what time zone you're in. They probably just got up. Okay, and many of them did. They're in England and they just got up. They're saying good morning and I should be saying good night. Okay, but I'm chit-chatting away. Or there's this really great movie that I just can't get enough of, or anything, you know. But when you neglect, and your body's literally inside you telling you go to sleep, and you're saying 5 more minutes, okay. Well, if you exceed those 5 minutes because you can't help, you're addicted to whatever it is you're involved in, you're just starting to ruin your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is getting shut right now. It was ready to sleep. It was at its peak of needing this prime sleep during those prime hours. And the best hours are really right around 10 o'clock to 1. Those are the times roughly around there. I'm not saying exactly those times, but that's when your body gets into a certain state that it needs that really good, deep, deep sleep. And, you know, ideally you should be sleeping flat for 4 hours with no interruptions. If you've got to go to the bathroom, you just ruined sleep. So I suggest not to eat before bed, like at least 3 hours. Don't eat a heavy meal. Don't drink 3 hours before, you know, tea's fine. Definitely don't drink alcohol and caffeine, obviously, or soda. I mean, that should even be in your agenda anyway. But be careful, because if you have to get up to go to the bathroom, you're breaking up your sleep pattern. So try to avoid all that. And then when you're in your room, make it your sanctuary. Know that that's the sleep room, not the TV watching room, not the reading the book room, because sometimes books aren't even that great to read and you're stimulating your brain depending on what you're reading. Okay, but you want to get rid of all blue lights in your room. And even, I remember my dad, rest in peace now, but he used to, when I remember he came over once, he was sleeping, he was visiting us, he would go and block every little clock. Like I couldn't even see the light coming out of the clock, but he'd block the clock. Little bit of light coming through, peeking through the curtains, he's blocking it with a towel. Underneath the door, there was some light coming in through the hallway. He put a towel on that. I mean, it was pitch black, okay? I admire that. I see the benefit of it now, you know? And truthfully, I actually sleep now with an eye mask. I love it. I have a very soothing eye mask, and it's got like, it's grounding. It's a grounding eye mask. I put it on, and it's just something about the darkness that makes you really go into a deeper state of sleep. So be careful with that. I would definitely have an air filter in my room as well. I have air filters all over my house. I don't know what's coming in. Anytime someone opens the doors, chemtrails, viruses, I have no idea. My kids bring their friends in and out. I got a really, really good air filter. I have one gigantic one for the bigger size rooms. We've got like vaulted ceilings in some of these rooms. So the big one for that. I got salt lamps. Salt lamps are amazing. The bigger the salt lamps, the bigger you can clean your room. They actually do clean. I got the Himalayan salt lamps. I did a whole video on it on my YouTube channel. You'll see a whole bunch of my salt lamps all around the fireplace. They're gorgeous. But you can also buy little ones for a littler room. And they also, believe it or not, do EMF radiation as well. So they can help with that. You might want to put them near a big screen TV or anywhere where you think your Wi-Fi is coming out of. Go near the rotor box or whatever they call it, where the Wi-Fi comes out, and just put something on there to remediate it. So definitely those. But and also, if you don't, if you put plants in your room as well, plants are great. The more plants you have, you've got oxygen flowing in and out, really nice, clean oxygen. So I'm not always telling you to do things the expensive way and go buy filters, but there are filters now at Costco that came 4 in a box, 4 like that big almost, and you plug them into the wall, and they will clean. They will clean your room. It's amazing. So when we went traveling, I mean, I'm always the one with the biggest, fattest suitcase. And then what I do when I travel, and it's not me. I'm not selfishly bringing stuff. Everything I bring is for the family. So I always go around to all my kids and I go, okay, who's got the empty spot in their suitcase? Because I stuff it with, filters and all kinds of like EMF products. And then they're like, oh, here comes mom. Everyone's zipping up their suitcase. Oh, mom's coming now, And I'm like, guys, this is for you. It's for you. It's not all me, okay? But they appreciate it. In fact, it's funny. My son went away now and he's going to Arizona and he said, where's an air filter for my van? You see, he knows that these are things that you need to bring along. When I travel on a plane, I have an exclusive air filter on there. I don't know if people are sneezing and wheezing around me and what they're putting in the air. There's not that great a circulation in a plane, obviously, but I have that. And I have my EMF. Remember I told you the room harmonizer? I plug that under there too. The only problem is the person beside me thinks I'm a hog because I'm using up all the plugs. But then when I tell them what I have, they're literally pulling out their computer and their charger going, oh yeah, definitely. I'm so glad I'm sitting near you, because they see the value. They see the value. They see that what we're breathing, and now with viruses, we don't know where they're coming and going from. Also, spray your mask. If you have to wear a mask, I put thieves in my mask now, and just keep me going. I also have a colloidal silver that I was spraying in my ears, on my eyes, and in my nose. Okay, that's 4 hours better than wearing the mask. Of course, I still wear it because you have to, but I just know in my heart that my mask does nothing for me, and what I sprayed really does. So I feel more secure spraying myself. And then I ingest the colloidal silver also before I leave. I did want to talk to you briefly about what I was mentioning to you before. So I just want to end by saying there was a lady I was working on who had breast cancer, and she reached out to me from Clubhouse. I did energy work on her. I brought up all her emotions up to par, no emotions related to the cancer. Then I stopped and I worked on her stem cells, very low percentage, brought those up. Then a lady calls me up from Clubhouse and she said, I heard you speak about how you removed this, or how you helped remove this lady's cancer. And did you ever hear of redox cells? I said, no, never. She said, well, can I please introduce you to this? Do you have a few minutes? I said, sure. She sent me a bunch of links. I'd be more than happy to share them all with you. I just need your email. What they are, okay, so I'm going to explain it in the simplest term possible. Okay, I'm going to pretend I'm in a room filled with people and I was one of those people. I didn't understand it, but I did a YouTube video on this too, to make it very simple. Pretend all the trillions of cells in your body are a bunch of grapes. Okay, you have lots of grapes. Now grapes are plump and juicy and full of juice, right? Well, over time, with oxygenation and the universe that we just talked about, and the pollution and the chemtrails and all that other stuff, they turn into raisins. They will turn into raisins even when you're stressed. They will turn into raisins. That's why people have zits on their face and autoimmune disorders and their hair falling out, and any symptom like that is a red flag. Something's wrong with your grapes. Something's wrong with your cells. Okay. When you have the redox, and the redox is the highest molecule cell. Look at it like the queen bee of all cells, okay? It's going to go in your body from head to toe and zap all the raisins that are there, okay? And bring them back to grapes again. So you're going to have a bunch of grapes all juicy and healthy again, okay? Hopefully that's the easiest, simplest way I can describe it. So and if you're going to ask me, well, how do you do this? 2 ways. I do it, of course, emotionally. I always, no matter what someone starts with, and I appreciate all you practitioners because you can value what I'm saying on this, emotions first. So I bring the redox cells up to 100, but then there's the physiological part. What can they continue doing? They cannot have emotions removed forever. What else needs to be done? So it's called ASEA, A-S-E-A. A lot of people called me back and they said, oh, I found it on Amazon. So I was wondering, it's true, it was on Amazon. It was actually even cheaper than me buying it directly from the company. So I called the company because I always want the best for everybody, and I want to make sure people are getting their money's worth. And if it's, why is it cheaper there, you know? So I called her on their behalf, and they said, oh, I'll explain to you what's been going on. We are a patenting company, and what happened is people have been squeezing out from the bottom. They're smart. They knew that there was a solid cap with the plastic around the top. So they went down on the bottom. They took a pencil or whatever they did. They poked out the actual ASEA, and they refilled it with salt and water, and were selling that. Okay, so they kept the good stuff for themselves and selling the cheap. So really, this stuff is salt water. So when someone tastes it, they'll go with salt water, just like we were told. But for some reason, it's not having a good effect. So this lady called the company and said, for 2 weeks, I've been on the ASEA, and none of my symptoms went away. So the company right away said, okay, send me back the bottle. And they checked it. And sure enough, it wasn't the real deal. So yes, it's salt water, but it goes through such an exclusive 3-day process with what it goes through, which I cannot explain. I have to send you the links because I'm not specialized in the exact format of what it does. I'd rather you read it for yourself, and I will send it to you to read for yourself. But that's what it does, and that's why it makes it so different. So this product has been helping just about every autoimmune condition. They have had Zoom calls with so many people. I've seen 20 people on a panel, one with thyroid, one with losing their hair, one with boils on their skin, one with cancer, tons of them with cancer, tons. I've seen lots of cancers talking about what their experience is with that. And so the reason this lady introduced it to me is because her husband died of cancer, and she didn't know about this ASEA. And she lost him, unfortunately, to cancer. And then somebody else introduced her to the ASEA, and their husband had cancer, and their husband survived. So it's, I'm not saying it cures, we don't say cures, but it sure makes sense with what it's able to do. Because cancer, what are they really? They're unhealthy, no oxygen in the cells, depleted of any good thing, and you know, they feed off sugar and all this other stuff that people don't know to change their diet as well. So so you want to stay obviously away from sugar and starches that convert to sugar and all that stuff. So that's what readout cells are, and you know, again, I can send you that. So if any of you have any questions or anything, that pretty well wraps it up. I think I covered just about anything on how I would detox from A to Z, and I hope that covered everything. Forgive me if it doesn't. You just, bottom line is you want an alkaline body, not acidic. I'm a big fan also with lymphatic massages. I get a lot of good massages, but it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's not like I just stopped. I'm very conscious. My shows are called Healthy Haven, and I give everybody a Healthy Haven band. And I say, just because you're in this room learning right now, keep an eye on your band. It says, let's create a heaven here on earth. Okay, that means we're here to continue staying educated and to continue being knowledgeable of what to take, what not to take, what to put in our body. You only have one body, one life, you know, so treat it right. That's how I would say it. I made a song, my theme song, if anyone sees my shows, I took the words of Belinda Carlisle, heaven is a place on earth, and I changed all the words around. I got permission from Rick Knowles, who does songs for Beyonce, and he loved the theme of the song and the show, and he said, I give you permission to change the words. I was so honored. I'm like, oh my God, but if you listen to the lyrics, I'm not the greatest singer, but I'm trying to send a message through that song, but it's now the theme song for my show, and it's called Let's Create a Heaven Here on Earth. We only live once. You'll have to hear it to see what I mean. So anyway, I thank you. I hope if anybody has questions, I can answer them. So please feel free.
Anna, I will like to ask you, can you repeat again what you put at night in the sole of your feet to detox your body?
Oh, sure. It's they're called foot patches. They're detox foot patches, and you just peel it off like you would a Band-Aid. They really look like a large Band-Aid. That's exactly what it is. And you put it on the bottom, and you put the peel part around so they stick to your skin. Put socks on. You need to have socks so they stay in there. And then they're not meant to walk around with. You literally, it's for sleeping because it's soaking out stuff. It's soaking out all the toxins, but it'll go right out of the sole of your feet. So you can look them up. I actually found a lot on Amazon. They do have them, you know, detox foot patches. But I buy them here. I was lucky I found a store that had it, but you can't have them on every single day. It's like, I think 4 days or 5. Every package is different. just read it like it says 4 or 5 a day, and then take them off, and then take a break. Again, you're fortunate. You can test energy. Do I need another one? Do I need a break? Take breaks from supplements too. I mean, right now D3K2 is very huge. People are taking just the D3. They're forgetting to take the K2. Again, Premier Research Lab, 2 steps ahead of everybody else, went and got the K2 combo. So you got D3K2 in capsule form. Can't beat that. If any of you would like a free account with Premier Research Lab, let me know. They don't even care if you order 1 item, no items. There's no fee to get it, but you have to get it through a practitioner. If you have a practice and you can sell it yourself, let me know, because I have to call a completely different department and get you wholesales on it. So I can get you signed up if you're in that category. I used to have a lot of people come here before COVID, and it was a whole production. They would order it through me, and I'd have to order it to my house, and then they had to come pick it up, and I'd told chit chat at the door. Oh my God, I was begging Premier Research Lab, please give me a link where they could just order it themselves. I got people all over the world now. And they said, we can't, we just don't have it set up. Finally, when COVID came, they were forced to do that, finally. And so now every practitioner was so happy because I could just share the links. But they do say you need to go through a practitioner, no matter who they are. You need to know, because they will not pick up the phone to the average anybody. They'll say, who's your practitioner? How do you know about us? You cannot order, but you can if I gave you a link. You just create a password and order whatever you want, whenever you want, delivered to your door if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, again, I got to call a different department. If you're another part of the world, they do all over the world, but it's just different departments. I happen to know who to call for whoever needs something. But if it's easy enough for you guys, I just send you the link. I actually broke it down because many people ask me, what do you take daily? What do you recommend daily? So I broke it down. If someone says, what do you take for thyroid? So there's 2 or 3 different ones for, so what do you take for liver? Because I don't like things that are capsules. So I said, okay, well then they have the liquid. So I broke it down. So that's it. I just try to make it easy for everyone. I hope I answered your question.
I would be very interested if you could send that link, and then I can also forward it to everybody.
Yes, please. So just give me your email. I just need your email.
Oh, you should have mine. I sent you the.
Oh, yes, I do. I do. That's right.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm
beautiful.
sorry about that one.
That's great. That's great. I love all the information you stated. I don't think people really do realize the importance of detoxing their bodies.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately.
No.
Some don't know they have a liver. Some have no clue they have a liver. And you know how I explain it? I said, do you have a car? And they look at me like I'm from Mars. Yeah. I said, well, do you change the air filter in your car? Do you give it a tune up every now and then? Do you have a clogged sink once in a while? It's the same thing, and they just keep plugging. And the elderlies, oh, those, I'm telling you, I see so many when I test them, and it's always liver related. Now, I don't know if you heard, I noticed people that got vaccinated also, they're the ones that their liver's really shot. Like the ones that are getting sick from that, I test their liver, and their liver's really clogged. It's really clogged. They're having really bad side. I'm not saying it's just from that, but they got to be extra careful. Anyone who does take antibiotics or have to be on medication for any reason, and I'm not saying don't go on medication. Medication can help in whatever way it does, but just have the good gut flora after. Like take acidophilus, take probiotics. I take microbiome every night before I go to bed. I don't care what I ate, what I did, always one good flora before I go to bed. There's plenty of things I take. I mean, I take a multivitamin. Again, all this stuff from Premier. I take multivitamin. I take fish marine oil. There's either fish marine oil or coconut. Your body needs oil. It needs oil. I don't care what anybody says about, I'm fine, I could just get it from eating olive oil in my food. Not enough. I think they need the full teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever it is. I stick some coconut in my smoothie, or I would do fish marine, sometimes both. Again, I test everything. And don't eat the same things every day. Like I notice sometimes my body needs blueberries. 2 days later, absolutely not. Will not want blueberries, will not want pineapple. So I asked, for whatever reason, I don't know why, blueberries are supposed to be great, right? They're an antioxidant, mine are organic, I shouldn't have a problem. But for whatever reason, I do not question the subconscious. Subconscious says, no, that's all it is, so that, and then always keep hydrated. So now I start my day, I used to start my day with lemon water, pink salt, and warm water. I used to start it, but now I don't. Now I take the ASEA first. That lady told me, start with the ASEA. Take 2 tablespoons of that. Get all your cells ready to go, ready to work for your body. Wait 15 minutes, she said, and then take the lemon water with pink salt. So I value that protocol. I do that now. And then I also do intermittent fasting. I don't believe everyone should be running for breakfast, because that's the myth. Oh, you've got to keep, you know, the metabolism going. No, you don't. No, you don't. Your body needs to rest. And if you go to bed late, sometimes like I do, that means your body still could be lingering lazily, eating and digesting and processing the food from the night before. So I sometimes can go like hours without eating, and I eat when my body's ready, like around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll give it a smoothie, and it loves it, you know, and then maybe a hot something. Like I like cream of wheat for some reason. I sometimes just eat that, but everything is organic, and I go really easy. I watch the glycemic levels on everything if you're trying to lose weight, or ketos is great. I have keto chocolate, really good if you're gonna have hot chocolate. See, that's where I modify things. There's chocolate, which should always be like 70–80% cacao. And then there's the keto chocolate, which has its own great benefits. And the keto will give you more ketones, you know. And so I know at night that a lot of people say pasta, their bodies, all their ketosis is off, you know. So I would have a keto hot drink or something, not too close to bedtime. Just remember, you don't want to be running to the bathroom. You're going to ruin your whole sleep. That's where you weigh out what you want to do more, you know, and kind of weigh out what makes sense. So.
What do you do for people that don't absorb the fluid or what they're eating? Is there a protocol that you utilize to help people to absorb what they're actually putting into their bodies?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, I ask the emotion. I go to the emotions. What's blocking it? And many times emotionally related, their digestive systems all clogged up because they have shock or terror or stress, or something is not breaking down their food. So always emotions first. For those of you that do the emotion code, that's number 1. Number 2, I check for parasites. A lot of people have parasites, a lot, and they're young. Some of them are young, and they're just not absorbing. The parasites are eating their food. That's where it's all going. The parasites are eating it. So yeah, I would check for that. Yeah, those 2 are the main things I would do. But then again, also digestive enzymes before a cooked meal, always. And you know, if you can't get digestive enzymes, celery juice is really, really good. I value the effects of celery juice, celery seeds. Those things all calm the digestive and bring you more enzymes. You know, sometimes if you're at a restaurant, you know how sometimes they used to eat the traditional way, you eat a salad and the soup and then your meal. Well, there's some countries that don't eat the salad last. Okay, especially if there's a celery in it, because it provides you enzymes to break down the cooked foods. A lot of people also are very low on hydrochloric acid. The other thing I should have mentioned, I check for that, because as we get older, we produce less hydrochloric. So again, Creamer Research Lab has that. So I take 2 capsules of hydrochloric acid and 1 activator. But then I stop myself too, and I say, why do I need that? Why am I low on hydrochloric acid? And I go into the emotions and I figure out what emotions created me to not produce enough. So there's days that I don't really need it, you know. So digestive enzymes are always. I think whether my emotions are the best that they could be or not, I still would take a digestive enzyme. And I remember Dr. Bob Marshall, who was the founder of Creamer Research Lab. He passed away now, but he always said, he even put on the bottle for cooked foods, do not miss a capsule if you're going to have a cooked meal. So I hope that answered your question. No, you're welcome. I can't
Thank
hear
you. I'm sorry. I muted myself. Thank you.
But I can hear your lips move. You're welcome.
I usually just do this. I sign.
I understand that. You're welcome.
Beautiful. Does anybody else have questions that they'd like to ask? Please do.
I have a question. First of all,
Sure.
I'm so sorry that I arrived late.
Oh, it's okay. They're going to record it, so I think you're good. They're probably going to give you a recording. You can catch up.
Thank you. I noticed that you mentioned the Yoko straightening.
Yuko. It's spelled Y-U-K-K-O. Yeah. Y-U-K-K-O. It's a Japanese. It's not cheap. I can tell you now. Yeah. It cost me about $250.
Oh, really?
So Yeah, just be prepared. It's a
That's
5 hour process. It's not that you're just buying the expensive stuff that she mixes, but it's 5 hours. Like, bring a really good book or some really good something to listen to. Listen to this podcast while you're there if you missed anything. Yeah, but it's really good. It lasts about 6 months, and it makes it so that my hair doesn't have to be dried as much. Like, I don't have to use the hot iron or anything. And even in my hair, I'm very careful what I put. I put neem oil. I love neem. Neem I put in my teeth too. If anybody had a sore tooth or any kind, neem oil. Again, Premier Research Lab has that. I put rosemary oil on my hair too. Everything and anything that's natural. I just barely ever hairspray unless I'm doing some presentation, and even then, so little. But just be really, really careful. It's going into your scalp, into your bloodstream, into your everything. So.
Okay. Do you have a special, I know that that's the name of the treatment, but it's a special brand for the treatment, or?
No, that is the treatment. It's called Yuko, and the product is Yuko. It looked like it said that on her little package thing. It's Yuko. Do you live in San Diego by any chance?
I live in Oceanside.
Oh goodness, I can tell you who to go to. I have the best lady ever that'll do it for you. Yeah, her name's Cindy, and she's right near in Encinitas, so Carlsbad.
Oh.
Encinitas/Carlsbad, yeah. Yeah, so reach out to me. I'll give you her number. I would only get it done with her. She knows her stuff backwards. She's very, very detailed, very detailed. Just very professional and really good, healthy products. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I will reach you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank
for
you.
having you today. You are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For anyone that wants to reach Anna, you can check her website, that is naturalhealthyheaven.com. You can see there the past life, the past life health shows. I think your podcast also is there, sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna add this podcast too. Yeah, I've got, I think, 7 podcasts now. There's 7 podcasts, 7 shows. We did like 6 or 7 live health talk shows. Those talk shows are really, really good. People used to pay to come watch them. You can now see them free on the website. But the first one is the Emotion Code and EMS. We did one on detoxification was the second one. Third one was on blue mind, the importance of blue mind, like going into the ocean and immersing in water and make sure it's clean water, just staring at pictures that have water. It's very soothing. We had a lot of guest speakers on that one. The other one we did was when my dad passed away. He died of cancer. It was very unfortunate. They detected it very late. He had 4th stage already. And I'll share very quickly with you how I was able to prolong his life an extra almost month. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, okay? But he was at 4th stage. And when let me put it this way, we were ready to go for a funeral. And my brother called, he said, Dad just come back from Europe, found out that he's got cancer. You need to come immediately and be expecting a funeral. So we get there, I mean, literally the fastest flights we can get, zip downstairs. There he was, he's blessing each one of my kids. And I said, this doesn't have to happen. In my head, I felt in my heart like this wasn't the end. So I came with a suitcase full of Premier Research Lab stuff. Luckily, he didn't want to die in the hospital. He wanted to die at home. So I had a bonus on that one because I could do what I wanted in the sense that I could take the medication, which I did, and throw them in the garbage one by one by one, because I tested every one of them. Some literally had milk in it, and he's wondering why he's vomiting. It had milk, and looking at the basic student that they brought, and I said, do you know that there's milk in here? And he's complaining that he's got nausea. Like, did you not make a connection, kind of like that maybe this could be? He goes, ma'am, I just give them what they tell me. So I couldn't really blame him. I thought, you know what? It's like talking to the wall. I'd be better off to just use my professionalism. I came with, here's the stuff that I brought him: green tea extract, beets, mushroom blends, okay, mushroom powder blends, like multivitamins, fulvic mineral stuff. He was depleted of everything. And that liver, oh, did I zap that liver? We kept, and then I reversed the nausea part with aloe vera juice, obviously, gave him that. Little baby sips of everything. The mushroom caps, I just opened it, put it gently inside soft bone broth, okay? little tricks like that. And my brother was in awe. He could not believe the changes in hours. First of all, I had to get him to sleep, right? Because he was losing sleep. He was up with all kinds of issues, and we took care of that. And then now that he started to sleep, better repair for the cells. And in the morning, little by little, I was giving him all the stuff he needed. Well, that week, we ended up not going to a funeral. In fact, we had him sit up at the dining room table, conducting an entire service ceremony dinner in front of all his grandchildren. That's how that turned out. Then I said, Dad, you know what? You're going to be fine if and only if you keep up this protocol. I had to try and train other people that were not on board, unfortunately, to give it, but we had to go back home. So we went back home, dropped off the kids, and unfortunately, closer to the end of the month, he went downhill again. But then again, I must tell you, my dad was the type of person that wanted to die with McDonald's in one hand and greasy French fries in another and a shake right in front of him. And that was his lifestyle. So he wanted me, and he gave me permission with wholeheartedly to go do a show on this. And if you go watch the show, it's very moving. I mean, it's not a fun looking show. You will see pictures that are very sad, but it was a lesson for the world. It's like he was a legacy now to use his example of what not to do and then what you could do. Okay, so I believe epigenetics reverses all conditions. And here's a prime example. I could have died of diabetes if I believed that it runs in my family, because he had diabetes. All his brothers had diabetes. Every time they traveled, they got the injections and all the junk in their freezer. You know, I got to take my shot now. Oh, okay. That's how they were all. My dad, if I knew earlier and if he followed my protocol, my diet for him, none of this would have happened. But then you cannot. I wanted to share one last thing for all the practitioners out there, and you probably already know this. Before I got my certificate in emotion code, I had 3 certificates for health consultation, nutrition, and detoxification from the top master, Arnaud Goren, from Total Health Mastery. And the one thing he taught us that I will never forget, and I share with everybody, is you cannot change somebody that doesn't want to be changed. You can only do so much, and you can talk and convince them that this is the best diet for them and not to take this and that. If they don't want to, they don't want to. It's kind of like they have this will to live or will to die. And not even that, they're just hooked on, I want to die with a cigarette in my hand. I want to die with my soda. And they don't care, and they're happy, and that's okay. I let it go. You can't do anything. You can only do as much as you can do. And with my dad,
I mean, I'm hearing a double thing here. Oh.
You hear me? Okay, I can't hear myself that much, but okay. So anyway, long story short, he just didn't want any help. So, and that's okay. We prolonged his life. My kids did not have to. Yeah, my kids did not want to see the funeral, and so my husband and I just flew back privately. So, yeah. Anyway.
So thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, I offer free 15-minute health consultations if anybody wants to see what is causing half of anything, like if they're losing their hair or they got boils on their skin or whatever. I do everything by percentages. I just need your email. I do everything energetically, of course. I could tell you where you stand, even to measure your redox cells. I can do that and let you know to what percentage those are at as well. So please reach out to me.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was such an honor. I will gladly post this on my website when I get the recording. And like I said, I just need everybody's email. And you can find my website, naturalhealthyhaven.com, to put your email or however you want to message me for those that just came on. All right. Have a wonderful rest of the week. I wish you all lots of more health.
You too. Have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
many, many blessings.
Bye.
God bless you. Touched my heart.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.